What's going on, everybody? Welcome inside the Mayo Media Network for another edition of Sunday Best Bets with me, Matt Best, producer here at the Mayo Media Network. Before we get going, and we've got a bit of a doozy for you today, changing things up a bit on the Sunday Best Bets. We have a few housekeeping items to go over. First of all, Pat has a new newsletter that he's also giving away $100 for. I feel like every episode I've talked about giving away $100, but here's another $100 for you to get. If you just go to his Twitter, I'm sure you'll find it within about 2 seconds of scrolling through his timeline. You just go and retweet that, sign up to the newsletter, and you're entered for $100. That's also the best way to keep on top of what we're releasing here at MMN. Another thing you can do is just give this video a big ol' like, a big ol' subscribe. The button's popping up in 3, 2, 1. Don't click that one, scroll down a bit and sub to the network. A ton of content, soccer, esports. Of course, Pat, Jeff, Tim have a bunch of stuff coming for you. And baseball season is coming up, and we've got baseball 6 days a week coming for you on the Mayo Media Network. And of course, we have a ton of UFC content, Mad Lab, Dogger Pass. We have Brett Apley. There is just so much here you don't want to miss. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars, rate, review, leave your Twitter handle in there as well. And Pat, gives away $100 if you do that as well. It's a crazy world we live in, and just take all the money you can while you can get it. Now let's dive into the picks. We're doing things a little differently. I've got an esports pick for you. Then I'm just going to give you a slew of picks that I think are going to hit, and I'm pretty happy with them. We got a new board for you. There's a lot going on here, so let's dive into it. First, we're going to look at 100 Thieves taking on Dignitas. Identical records in the NALCS spring split so far at 11-7, but right now we're talking about the mid-season showdown. It's a best of 5. 100 Thieves has already played. They lost 3-0 to Cloud9 in the first round. Now they're facing Dignitas. We've got the 2 money lines here for you. 100 Thieves minus 225, Dignitas plus 162. The map's 4.5, because of course this is a best of 5 like I was talking about. And the spread is plus 1.5 over to Dignitas. You can catch the action if you just type in League of Legends Esports onto Twitch or on Twitter, and you'll find it immediately. This goes Sunday at approximately 4 p.m. Now, 100 Thieves started the season strong. They were one of my favorite teams to kick things off. They looked like they had a stacked roster, because on paper, they looked pretty damn good. They showed it for a while, too, just contending. But this is when DeMonte was in the starting lineup. Now they have Ryoma playing, and I'm not a big Ryoma guy, and I don't think a lot of the public's a big Ryoma guy, too. A lot of questionable decisions that this player has made. Just a lot of walking up into lane, getting caught out when he doesn't need to instead of just going back to base. And a lot of this sounds foreign, so I'm going to translate it for just traditional sports listeners. It would be like the goalie coming out way too early when the puck is still in the neutral zone, and everyone just knows that's a big no-no. Or it's like not running out any of your plays in baseball, just doing all these small things that should be engraved into your head as a professional player. 100 Thieves did beat Dignitas 2-0 early in the season, but then again, that's when DeMonte was mid-laning. If DeMonte does get back into the 100 Thieves lineup for this game, then just completely ignore this segment. But if Ryoma is confirmed as the starter for 100 Thieves, then that's what we want to roll with here. We want to look at Dignitas plus 1.5 here is my official bet for this game at minus 138. I think Dignitas on paper doesn't look as good as 100 Thieves, even with Ryoma there, but Dignitas just works better as a team. They have guys like Dardoch and Afromu, and Colin Dardoch, a veteran, feels very weird right now, especially back to his dramatic days with Echo Fox and what was going on there. But Dignitas plus 1.5, I think they can get it done. I think this does go the distance. It's pretty close to being a 50-50, but minus 138 is my official bet for the plus 1.5 maps there. I will have half a unit on Dignitas on the money line as well, plus 162. I just think that is good value. C9 stomped, like I said, 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves just looks discombobulated. Not as discombobulated as the Buffalo Sabres in the NHL, but they just don't look good whatsoever. Now we're going to do just some quick bets here off this Sunday afternoon, morning, evening video, whenever you're listening to it. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different bets for you. Got a couple money lines, a shot prop, a first goal, and a goal. So let's dive into it. The first one we have here for you, the Boston Bruins money line minus 220 going up against the Devils. Short and sweet for you. Bruins have won 3 of their last 4, outshooting their opponents 89-63. Even without Marchand in the lineup, the Bruins still look like a pretty good team. Minus 220, I won't necessarily play this as a heavy single. I'll have this as part of a lot of parlays in hockey. If you want to know what else I'm betting, tweet at me over at Best of Matt, and we can discuss what's going on in the hockey world, but this one definitely popped off as part of my core plays going into that slate. Now, I also have the Capitals on this page as well, minus 130 against the Rangers. I like the money line here, like I said, minus 130. With Ovi on a tear, the Caps just look like a completely different machine. Over the last 4 games, they've had more high-danger scoring chances compared to their opponents, 93-73, and you can thank one Mr. Alexander Ovechkin. Give me the Caps money line, full unit, minus 130 there. Now I want to jump over to Ovechkin. I know we're skipping Perron and Verhaeghe if you're looking at the board, but for you audio listeners and you video listeners, we're going to talk about Ovechkin. Go anytime goal plus 118. Now we get a lot of trouble over on the Fantasy Hockey Picks and Bets show for giving chalky plays. But if you're going to give me a guy who scored 10 goals over his last 10 games at plus money to score another goal, I'm going to take it and I'm going to share that information with you. Over his last 10 games, only twice has he not had a goal. In that stretch, 10 games, 10 goals. I'll pay plus 118 for a guy who has a goal per game and is also the great 8. Give me that any day of the week. Now, Carter Verhaeghe is my first goal play here. Just a bit of fun. On these first goal props, you don't want to go completely buck wild. You wanted to sprinkle quarter unit in there, or if you're a Canadian, just throw Toonie on it. It's something to have a bit of fun with, but for Hagee here, coming off a hat trick, I'll take plus 1,400 any day of the week. It's just a quarter unit play, nothing fancy. Just ride the heat, ride the momentum, just like we've been doing with Alex Ovechkin, just trying to get him at any time goal scoring, and I'll keep riding that until it dies. With Verhaeghe here, like I said, don't go nuts unless you really want to, but quarter unit on a guy who is finally getting a time to shine on a team. In Tampa, it felt like he was just waiting, always waiting for his shot with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and now with the Panthers, he's getting a good opportunity. He's making the best of it here. Now, David Perron over 2.5 shots plus 100 is another thing I really like here. Perron had 9 shots 2 games ago. 9 freaking shots in one hockey game. It feels like he's being priced similar to how Zuccarello was for 1.5 shots for a long time. And I think that has a lot to do with the return of Vladimir Tarasenko. Tarasenko jumped up onto that first line. He's getting all the opportunity to shine on that team again, even though the Blues are starting to stumble a bit. I just feel like Perron's price has not changed because Tarasenko has jumped into the lineup. So give me Perron at plus money. He's been a part of my plays for the last little while over on the Fantasy Hockey Picks and Bets show, Monday, Wednesday, Friday with Chris Meany, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays with Matt and DJ, and then on Saturdays with Griff. Everyone's loved Perron. He's been one of our favorite plays so far, and we're just going to keep riding him out just like we rode out good old Matt Zuccarello. So let's just continue that train. To recap, we've got the Bruins money line, the Capitals money line, David Perron over 2.5 shots, Carter Verhaeghe, first goal there at plus 1,400, Alex Ovechkin just getting an anytime goal at plus 118, and then we've got good old Dignitas plus 1.5 to cover that spread. That'll do it here for the Sunday Best Bets with me, Matt Best, on the Mayo Media Network. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, give us 5 stars. Go sign up for that newsletter too. Stay up to date with everything that's going on at the Mayo Media Network, and we'll catch you next time.